Okay, Nick, ding, round two. Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and you purchased the Gucci combo that comes with clear and sunglass lenses. I've just cut the clear lenses. Look, I still got sawdust on me. Let me clean up there. I just cut your clear lenses, and now I'm going to cut your sunglass lenses. So the first thing I'm going to do, move your Gucci case and Gucci cleaning cloth aside. Yes, that is the Gucci one. And I'm going to take the prescription lenses out. And again, to take your lenses out, you take your thumb, you press at the nose. I grab both sides of the lens. I'm right-handed, so I grab the frame with my left hand, place my left thumb on top of my right thumb, and just push down. Let me do the same thing for the other side. I rotate it over, press my thumb on the nose, put my thumb on top of my other thumb, press down. Out pops your unbreakable lenses. So let's cut your new unbreakable lenses, which are your sun lenses. And the sunglass gray, so it matches your frame. This is, let's see, this should be your right lens. I'll just double check. Of course, let's do the same steps as before. I'm going to trace your frame. I'm going to put your Italian frame into my Italian Santanelli. This is the LE1000 patternless edge. It costs $30,000. Please go out and buy yourself one. All right, that is the worst Italian accent I've ever done. And it's free, by the way. All bad impressions are free. All right, so I just traced the left lens, and now it's tracing the right lens here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where you buy the genuine, authentic Gucci frame and you receive free single vision prescription lenses. Of course, you got the combo. You bought the frame, you got the clear and the sunglass lenses. So I'm going to pull the shape of your frame up. I'm going to put your pupillary distance of 71 in. 71. This is a polycarbonate lens, and it's been cut for a plastic frame, and because I remember the size of your right lens before, I'm going to go ahead and take it down in size just a little bit in advance. This is your right lens. Let's see, the lensometer is still on 177, which is the axis for both eyes. I'm going to put the power drum on -75. Put your lens in, rotate it until the sphere power comes in clearly. Check your astigmatism correction, get everything lined up perfectly. Or close to perfect. I don't need to be accurate, do I, Nick? This is my second pair. Come on, I'm getting weak. I'm slowing down. You know I'll make you one good pair. The second one I gotta get slack and mess up on. So all right, let me darken those dots. You know what's coming. You've seen this all before. Those 3 dots help me keep everything on a straight line. So when I get your lens lined up, it cannot rotate in your frame. It cannot be crooked at all. Even though you're popping them in and out, it's still going to be that same parameter every time you pop them in and out. So that's the right lens. I'm going to put it there. Your left lens, cut the power back to -50 for your left eye. Get the sphere, rotate until the sphere power comes in clearly. Check your astigmatism correction, of which, Nick, you got a lot. You got some crazy stigs. That's what I tell people when they have high amounts of astigmatism. Average is around 1, 1 1/4. And look, my red dots ain't even working. Let me clean everything back off. Start all over. We put some more ink in my lensometer. Move your case out of the way so it doesn't get red ink on there. Got my little eyedropper. Put it down on my little sponge. Get it wet. See, you didn't know how technical it was. This thing runs on ink. So, put your lens back in. Rotate until the sphere power comes in clearly. Check your astigmatism. Everything is lined up in the middle of my crosshairs. And let's put 3 dots on your lenses. You might actually see them now since I just put ink in there. There we go. Can you see that one? So that one's better. That center one's, and this is the left. So just like before, I need to attach one of these blocks to your lens while it is cutting in the lathe. So I'm going to put the block in the blocker. 3M makes these double-sided adhesive stickers. I know you've seen this before, but some people are seeing this for the first time. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick that onto the block. Pull away the tape to make my side sticky now. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm looking into the crosshairs of the scope, and I'm getting his lens lined up just perfectly. I don't know if you can see any of that. I certainly can't when I'm not looking into the thing. So get that lens oriented just perfectly. That is the right lens. Let's do the same thing for the left. Put a block into the blocker. Put a double-sided adhesive sticker on there. Get your lens lined up just perfectly. Or as close to perfect as I can get. You know, I've been drinking all afternoon. You know, I shouldn't even joke about that since I don't drink. People, Nick has met me before. Everyone else watching this for the first time, like, what is wrong with that fool? But Nick knows how hard I work. I put in 100 hours a week, working 7 days a week to get all the orders filled. Then he comes along and makes me want to cut 2 pair of lenses, make me work overtime during a 100-hour week. But nonetheless, the lens is going into the chuck and it's tracing the shape of his right lens onto the back surface of the lens. Now it's going to move over and trace that same shape onto the front surface, measuring the thickness of the lens to know exactly where to place the bevel so the lens fits inside the frame perfectly. The cutting wheel is down here on the bottom left. It's like a heavy grit sandpaper that's going to grind away the lens material until it's its final shape. And this wheel in the center with that channel is what's going to put the bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the frame. I will have to close the door in a moment, but for now I just want you to see as your sunglass lenses touches the cutting wheel. So Nick, will you give me $1 if I stick my finger in there? Let's see, you're giving me $250 for the frame. There's no charge for the clear lenses. You paid the $30 upgrade for the anti-glare. And of course your sun lenses were $59, so all you owe is $309. And you don't owe that because you've already paid for everything. So, of course your lens material, just like your clear lenses, are made out of the same thinner, lighter weight, unbreakable polycarb. Your lenses are unbreakable. Wait, did I just say that? I told you I've been drinking. You know, we covered all this. Okay, no, but yes, your lenses are bulletproof up to .22 caliber. Has both UVA and UVB protection. Not just the sunglasses, but your clear lenses too. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes, no matter which pair of lenses you're wearing. Unlike when you go to the beach or anywhere where you have to put sunscreen on your, or the lotion or the cream or the spray on your skin so you don't burn. That has to be reapplied. This never has to be reapplied. It is permanent. So if you notice, your lens is still completely flat. If it were nickel, I could stand it up on the counter. So now it's getting the bevel put onto the lens on the second wheel. This is a knife-like bevel, a very dull knife, but a knife nonetheless. In an emergency, you could use this lens to cut a piece of wet tissue, but you would have to soak the tissue into a bucket of water overnight, and then using all your strength, you can cut through. Don't make me cut me, Luke, or Mick. So that's that. There is water running in the background, but the polycarbonate lenses, up until now, cut dry. This is the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle. This water is coming in just to wash away any optical debris. Nick, have you noticed how less and less professional I get with each video? By the time I make a third one, man, I'll be getting the needle and syringe out. Come on, ride this one. Enough with the drinking, I'm moving on to the hard stuff. Wait, this just in. I've just discovered I don't drink, I don't do anything else, I don't smoke. I just drink water. Although last weekend I had my first glass of sweet tea in I don't know how many years, but I was a wild man. I took the day off for July 4th and went to a barbecue joint, got some barbecue and sweet tea. So much for the diet. So, alright, the right lens is done. Let me take this out. And again, you still have some rough edges left over from the cutting cycle, so I'm going to use my hand stone, which is completely flat. I can put my finger on it while it's running. In fact, I can put my tongue on it while it's running. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So, this is known as the safety bevel. I'm just going to use that friction to smooth out those rough edges around your lens. And now it has an old white mustache going all the way around your lens. But that is called Schwarf, and I'm going to use my thumbnail to scrape all of that off. And as I illustrated in your last video, I do this so much, I have worn a V-shaped bevel into my thumbnail. My friends call it my occupational thumbnail. Oh, I almost forgot, look at me. But once it's all off your lens, I collect it nicely into one pile, and then I wipe it on the floor. Into one pile. See? Don't try and revolt against me. So, alright, back to work. I forget that, you're paying me to do this. Thought I could just go and play in my lab, but I'm going to take your lens, tuck it in at the side closest to me, then using my thumbs to press down at the nose, it snaps in. Just to check the size, I'm going to flip it over, grab the frame with my left hand, use my thumb to press down on the nose, put my other thumb on top, push downwards, out pops your unbreakable lens. In fact, let me show you. Let me smash this thing. I got this jar of peanuts. I'm just going to smash your lens like that, just to prove it's unbreakable. But nah, that's a good size, so we are good. Let's go ahead and start cutting your left lens. I'm going to put the lens into the chuck, or as I always say, the Charles, because I don't know it well enough to call it chuck. Then hit the start button. And just like before, the calipers are going to come down, starting with the concave, the back surface of the lens. Trace the shape of the left side of your frame to make sure your lens is large enough to cut out. Then it's going to move over and trace the shape of the of your frame onto the convex surface of the lens. And that will conclude your vocabulary lesson of the day. Tomorrow we're going to cover anatomy. We've got the 6 ocular eye muscles, as well as the optic nerve, the retina, the lens, the diaphragm. We'll go over all of this, rods, cones. So, as your lens touches down onto the cutting wheel, I'm going to go ahead and keep working on your right lens. So this block is no longer needed. I'm going to pop the block off, pull that sticker off. Now can you still see that original red dot and some water on the lens? So let me dry your lens off. Can you see that red dot? I just don't know how good the optics are on the GoPro. So I'm going to put your right lens back into the lensometer. The axis wheel is still at 177. I'm going to check. And man, how did I cut it that bad? No, I'm just kidding. It is dead on. We're reading -75. Is this good enough to look inside? Can you see the 3 clear lines in there? If I turn that, those 3 lines should come clear. It should be fuzzy now. I'm back to clear. Point the angle back down. And also, would you look at all the nice dust I have on here? Would someone come over and clean? Look at this. Look how dusty that is. Do you see that fingerprint? It's because I'm always working. Come on now. So, -75. Let's check your astigmatism correction. And we now have the 3 thick bars going across there. Hopefully you can see that. And we're at -3 1/4. Of course, if I just keep moving that camera lens around, 3 1/4. Your prescription is -75, -250 at 177. This first number makes everything the correct size. The second number takes away the fuzzy edges. You combine the 2 of them together, -75 and -250, and you get -3 1/4. So your left eye reads -50, -250 at 177. Again, you need 2 steps. Everything is in quarter increments, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, and so on. You need 2 steps of minification for your left lens, an additional 10 more steps of astigmatism correction. Mostly everything's the right size. It's just real fuzzy when you take your glasses off. So, someone break in your house at night, you couldn't even describe them to the police officer, but you could tell them what cologne they were wearing though, but you just, I couldn't see them. I couldn't see them, it was dark. Again, all bad impressions are free. Come back Thursday nights for the buffet. Hello, is this on? Hello? Remember to tip your waitresses and drive home safely. Don't worry, Nick, I'm not going to quit my day job. Or my weekend job where you met me at. Selling glasses on the weekend. How does a man do that? You're going to want your money back after watching these. You said, man, I thought I hired a professional. This fool cut my lenses. So, out of the chuck it comes. Out of the Charles. Alright, how about if I call it Charlie? That's it. You're now the Charlie. You're not the Chuck anymore. So, back to the handstone to remove those rough edges. In an emergency, your lens can also be used as a tortilla to dip up some guacamole or some cheese sauce. Of course, back to the safety bevel, back to scraping all that schwarf off with my thumbnail. And as you look down on this counter, you see all this white powdery substance. And that's how I can work 100 hours a week. It's all this white powdery stuff that's all over my countertops here. Somehow it just gives me the motivation to keep going. So, Lord forgive me, I shouldn't joke about that. As I said in the first video, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do anything. I drink nothing but water. My wife wants me to cut out white sugar, white bread, white women. All right, that's uncalled for. There's your frame. I knew it was somewhere around here. Okay, so let's take your lens, tuck it in. of the outside corner, and then using the thumbs, oop, it's still alive, it's trying to escape, press down at the nose, and it snaps in perfectly. So let me pop this block off. Dry your lens, take that sticker off. I'll throw one thing in the trash, only one thing per day. Now your pupillary distance is 71. I'm going to hold my PD stick up, and hopefully that's good enough that you will see a 71 on here. I've really got to go Wi-Fi so I can watch what you guys are watching. So I'm going to put it back in here. Let me check the axis at 177 for the left eye, and that is coming in perfect. Minus 50, minus 250 gives me a combined power of minus 3. So I am going to clean the dots off your lenses. And also I want to point out that 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. So when you get these in the mail, if they're too loose or they're too tight, just stop by your local shop and tell them, especially if it's high on one side, because 80% of people have one ear that's higher than the other. I'm no different. When I take off my Ray-Bans and set them on the counter, I can press down and one side of mine is higher just because I have one ear that's higher than the other. But I'm going to get yours in standard alignment, meaning that when I set them on the counter, there is no wobble. It's a 3-point stance, 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. So I set it on the counter. There is no wobble. I flip it over. There is no wobble. I close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly and there's the same amount of tension on each hinge, and it is. So that's that. I also send out a photo request to have your picture on the website if you would like to brag to your friends that you are a Gucci website model. You certainly can. So if anyone has any questions, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. I've got both sets of lenses I'm about to ship to you. I'm about to make a mess, but I've got your clear lenses and the sun lenses for the same frame. You'll see how to pop them in and out. In fact, let me just go ahead and test the sunglass lenses one more time. I'm going to use my thumb, press down at the nose, put my other thumb on top, push down, that pops out easily. Rotate the frame back upright. Tuck it in at the outside corner, then use my thumbs to press down again. I'm going to do the same thing for the left lens. That pops out easily. Rotate the frame back upright. Tuck it in at the outside corner first, then using your thumbs, press down at the nose. It pops in perfectly. So that's that. Nick, I hope you enjoyed as you saw me cut 2 pair of lenses for you. I know I joked around a lot, but sincerely, you could have bought your frames from anyone, but you bought them from the guy who's going to give you free prescription lenses. Well played, Nick. And I hope you enjoyed watching.